Hi everyone, I'm Shayanti, the artist behind Shayanti Fine Arts. Today I'm going to use my 12-piece set of Faber Castell water-soluble pencils and create this beautiful Dancing Ganesh painting inspired by the occasion of Ganesh Chaturthi.
I am starting off with the background. For the background, I'm being very loose. I'm just smushing out different colors in different areas, yellows, oranges, different shades of blue, green, red, crimson, purple, whatever color I found on my palette. I just kept on using that, and I just tried to do a very vague cloudy effect, but even a solid background would be fine. You can do any background for this particular painting, it would work out just fine. And just for your convenience, I have this template available linked in the video description below, so that you can paint your own Dancing Ganesh for yourself. I could have done the entire background as well with pencils, but it was just loose backgrounds. I thought it would be much faster if I painted with a paintbrush and used my palette watercolors. Next, I started on the whole body of the Ganpati, all of the areas completely with an ochre tone. I'm working on a very basic 12-piece set of Faber Castell Albercht Durer watercolor pencils. I'm sorry if I butchered the name, which I'm sure I did, and this is the first time I'm using this particular watercolor pencil. I've used several other watercolor pencils before, the cheaper ones, which work beautifully but are not as light fast as this are, but I have to say that these are one of the best art materials I've ever used. And I will come back sometime soon with a full-length review and comparison with other watercolor pencils of Faber Castell watercolor pencils. But right now, let's focus on the Ganpati. For the different areas of the body or the skin of Ganpati, what I first did is a base layer of ochre very lightly, and then for the darker areas, I used umber and purple, or rather the magenta color, which kind of looked like a little bit purple to me. And there was also a dark brown color. You can see all the colors that I've been using on the right hand and left hand side. It's only a 12-piece set, so there are not very many colors, but I found that for this particular painting I did not feel limited at all. I'll probably have to try one portrait or a more detailed drawing to see how I can work with a 12-piece set. Obviously more colors will be better, but the 12-piece is not very limiting. That's what I wanted to say. So for the darker areas or the lighter areas, what I'm doing is whatever color I wanted to use in those areas, I first put all the colors in different layers, and then I am coming back with a paintbrush and wetting those areas and just letting the colors blend. And oh my god, this watercolor pencil blends just amazingly. It's just, you put water and everything smooths out so nicely. You don't have to work hard at all. Unlike watercolors, these pencils are so amazing. You do not have to blend the pencils at all while it is dry. Just add a little bit of water and everything will smoothen out immediately. And you can go as dark and light as you want, but my suggestion is that if you want to go dark or really dark, you want to apply the pencil in layers. Apply a layer of pigment and then come back with a paintbrush and wet the areas, blend the area, then let it dry completely, and then come back with a different area. That way you will get much more brighter color in the end, and a much darker color and very bright, and a lot of depth is what you will get in that process. By the way, for the darker areas of the skin or the body, I have also used a lot of orange along with my browns, and I tried to keep the use of brown minimum because I wanted this painting to be a little bit more colorful not really very realistic on the skin tone side, but more on a colorful skin side, because this painting, because of the dancing Ganesh look, because of the figure, it just kind of looked very cute to me, and I wanted the colorful look for this one. I don't know whether it worked out for you, but it did definitely please me. So let me know in the comments what you think about the choice of colors that I have used in the painting. Did the painting work overall or not? I always like to know your thoughts. For the very detailed areas, watercolor pencils are obviously the best choice you have whenever you work with watercolor if you're not very experienced with using detail brushes. You can see in the areas of the ornaments or the garland of the Ganpati or Ganesh, the little things came out so wonderfully. The petals of the flowers came out so wonderfully just because I was using the tip of a sharp pencil. And I went over the entire body several times, lightened some of the areas with white. Now I have to mention at this point that use of white does lighten the areas, but the white is not opaque, so do not expect it to cover any imperfection. So the rule of thumb of watercolor remains true here. If you want some area to be truly white, leave those areas white from the beginning to the end. You will not be able to add white on top of, at least this watercolor white will not do that job. You can obviously use gouache in the end, which I use sparingly to create the highlight in the eyes of the Ganesh only in this painting at the very end for that look. Or you can use masking fluid at the very beginning of the paint to preserve your whites where you want to be absolute white of the paper to show through. For the eyes, I have used browns, blues, a little bit of magenta and black also to get the dark eyeballs, and the rest of the areas I've used a lot of magenta to get the nice to tag along with the nice colorful look that I was going for over here. Even in the shadow areas I kept on adding magenta to keep in tune with the rest of the painting. So that is very pretty much all about this particular painting. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to like the video and do not forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell as well so that you get notified every time I post a new video. Thank you.